In this video, we are going to be solving fill in the gap questions. Fill in the gap questions. These are questions by 11 plus. Okay, so especially if you're working on getting your 11 plus sorted, I've got a question for you. Let's try this out. So one of the questions is dash, okay, a missing number multiplied by 6 equals 480. Now, to be able to solve any missing number questions, there are the way to solve it is almost the same for every one of it. Now, explain to you what I mean. In this case, we are having a multiplication sign, but in other questions, you might not be having multiplication sign. You might be having things like addition, or you can have a division sign. Okay, so division, yeah, I just put that there because it disappears. Okay, so you might be having division sign, and then you can have a question like this. Sometimes the missing number may be on this side. Sometimes the missing number is the answer itself, in which case it's very easy. Okay, so whatever it needs to be done, if it's multiply, you multiply and get the answer. But let's go with this that we have. So a missing number or an unknown number multiplied by 6 gives us 480. How do we find this missing number? First thing you need to look into is this missing number. We need to solve it. So we need to remove anything else beside it, okay, so that we can be able to solve the missing number. Now, these two numbers cannot exist on their own. Otherwise, we're going nowhere. We can't do anything. We need to do something to both of them to help them to solve the problem of this missing number. Okay, so they've got to work together now. Okay, now, another thing is this. Anytime you see an equal sign and there is a missing number and there is another number closer, it doesn't matter where it is, okay, and then you need to use it to solve that missing number here. Anytime you need to then look out for this operation sign, because this operation sign determines what we do with this 6, whether to multiply, to divide, or to add, or to take away. So in this case, this multiplication sign, we need to find the inverse, because we need to move this 6 to the other side. And anytime an operational sign is jumping over an equal sign to the other side, it has to come back in an inverse. You have to find the inverse of that number. So in this case, there are two ways to do it, well, there are several ways to do it, but I'll give you some understanding about it so you can then pick up the shortcut by yourself. So when you want to find the inverse of a number, if it's multiply, you need to divide. If it's divide, you need to multiply. Okay, that's one thing. So let's go. Let's try and find the inverse of 6. And that would then be 6 multiplied by 1/6. So 1/6 is the inverse of 6. And another thing you then need to remember is this. Anytime we're solving questions like this, where we are trying to get rid of one number on one side, okay, whatever you do to the number you're getting rid of must be done to the number that is on the other side of the equal sign. So in this case, we have 418. We have to also say 480 times 1/6. Okay? In which case, if you cross out, 6 divided by 6 is 1. And there is always an invisible number here. Anytime you see a nominal number, that's just a normal number, there's an invisible number, a number 1, an invisible number 1 underneath it. So we can as well put it there to make it easy for you. And don't forget, like I said in my previous videos, you can't say 480 divided by 1, 1 divided by 6. Okay, of course it's got multiplication sign there, so you can easily say to yourself 480 multiplied by 1, 6 multiplied by 1, which gives us 480 divided by 6. That makes it easy to solve. Don't forget our missing number here. Don't forget. Now let's go back to it. So our missing number will be something like this. When you want to solve the answer, it's going to be missing number equals 480 divided by 6. If you look into your 6 times table, 6 times 8 will give us 48. Am I right? Yay. So we put 8 down. Now you must not forget about this very 0 here. Don't say because you found out the answer you ignore the 0. You're not going to get the right answer you want, because 8 times 6, okay, because 8 multiplied by 6 is not 480, right? So that's why we need to ensure that we look out for our zeros at the end. Once you finish solving a question, always add back your 0, because 6 in 0, impossible. There's no 6 in 0, so you keep your 6 there. That tells us that the answer is 80. And you can always check that out by saying 80 times 6 equals 48. 480, I mean. 8 times 6 is 48. Okay, so 8 times 6 is 48. 80 multiplied by 6 equals 480. So that tells us that the missing number is 80. Sorry, the missing number is 80, not 480, because we've already gotten our answer. And I hope that helps. Now what I need you to do, try your best to solve out different questions in multiplication. Okay, now let's try to do another one. Let's do a question of addition this time. So if you have an unknown number, add 18 equals 30. An unknown number, add 18 equals 30. Like I said, in this case, the inverse, we don't need to do any division, because we are using addition. So in this case, you won't have to say, oh, I need to say 18 divided by 1 over 18, or 18 multiplied by 1 over 18, because we needed the inverse, because we were working on multiplication. In this case, if it's plus, you just take away. If it's take away, you just add. So let's go. Minus, well, not minus, missing number will then equal 30 minus, or take away, 18. Remember what we said earlier. It was on this left side. Coming over, it has to come with its addition sign, and it needs to come this way across the equal sign. When it comes, it's got to turn to a negative number. If you put it on here, if you put this on here, you're going to have something like 18 minus 30. And let's try that out. 18, take away 30. Let's do 30. Can you see where I even started? 30, take away 18. What do you think? So you borrow 1 from here. Okay, give it to this one. This turns to 10. 10 take away 8 is 2. Remainder 2. Okay, here 2 take away 1 is 1. So it's 12. But in this case, it's going to be minus 12. Now, if you make it minus 12, you're definitely not going to get the answer, because minus 12 plus 18, if you haven't done this topic before, let me try and help you out on here. Minus 12, add 18. Think about it this way. I have 18 pounds. I went to the store to buy sweeties worth 12 pounds. Would you still have 30 pounds? No, you will have £6 left. That, and the leftover in this case is not 6, it's 30. That tells us that you cannot move 18 here. You got to move it right over 30. Okay, and that then tells us, I'm just going to get rid of all that. Yeah, so that then tells us that the answer here is 12, because 12 add 18 equals 30. 12 add 18 equals 30. Now I'm going to try and give you some questions. If you can try to work it out, that'll be good. Tell me your answer in the comment box. So let's have question 1 to be 150 times missing number equals 450. And question 2, let's have 39 minus a missing number. Okay, I'm going to put that under so that you won't mix it up. Or actually, maybe minus should be the one lower. So 39 minus a missing number. And I'll put that in brackets so you can see it. Okay, equals, what do you think? Equals, let's say 57. What do you think the answer is going to be? 39 minus a missing number. I'll give you a clue on here. You might not get what you're expecting. Or shall we just make it easy for you? Let me give you something really lower, just so that it can be easy for you to solve. So let's say 39 minus something lower gives us, let's say, 25. Because that other question would be leading you to a negative number, which you may want to try yourself. Okay, so that's that one. And one more question. One more. If I say to you, the missing number this time would not be in here. It will not be from here. It will be 250. Yeah. Multiplied by a missing number or an unknown number equals £1,000. Well, £1,000. Okay, do you like to give that a try? Put your answers in the comment box. Thank you. Hello and welcome to 11 Plus for Success, and we are going to be working on mode. What is mode? Really, you will find mode in the category of mean, median, range. Okay, in my previous video we have worked on mean, and I'll release more videos on median, range as well. Okay, I think it's better for us to release it one by one, but today we are going to work on only mode. What is mode? Mode is simply the most reoccurring number. So let's say, for instance, you are told that in a shopping supermarket, for instance, there are in one of the aisles, you have some products that are equal to £5.75, and then in another aisle £5.75, and in another aisle you have one that is £8. You have one that is, let me put my pound sign, that is 99 pence. You have another one that is 99 pence in an aisle, and then you have another one that is maybe £2.73, and they're asking you what is the mode. Which one is the mode? Simply, as you look, in fact, let's increase one of them. Let's see, in another aisle again, we have another £5.75. And you're told to find the mode. The mode is simply the most recurring number. So in this case, you have £5.75, 1, 2, and 3. You see the reason why I had to write another one, because we had 2 here and we don't want that. Okay, don't forget, I'm trying to create the question myself just to encourage young people as well to do the same thing. Okay, so the model figure that we need is £5.75. Mode is £5.75. Why? Because it's the most reoccurring figure. So why don't you go ahead, create your own question, find your mean, as well as find your mode. And I'll see you next time. God bless. Hello and welcome to 11 Plus for Success. And today we are going to be working on metric table or measurement part 2. And today we are going to be working on centimeters, and meters. Centimeters conversion to meters. Okay. So first thing to know before we work out any question, okay, 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. And of course, depending on the way they present the question, 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. We have to remember that. Okay, so now let's try and think of a question. So let's say Trevor has a tape, a measuring tape that has 6 meter. I'm going to actually present the question so you can see it. So let's say Trevor has a tape, a measuring tape that has 6 meter and 15 centimeters. 6 meter, 15 centimeters of tape. Okay, that's the tape measurement. And Trevor uses about 350 centimeters, okay, to wrap a carton. How many parts of that tape will Trevor have left? Okay, so like not measuring tape now. Did I say measuring tape? No, I meant sellotape. A sellotape. You know those there are some big sellotapes, not those little ones. So I want us to imagine really good. I'm talking big sellotape that you can be used to wrap a carton. Okay, so 6 meter, 15 centimeter of that tape. Okay, and Trevor uses 350 to wrap. How many is left over? As you can see, it's not that easy to just say 6 meter and then write 615 minus 350. Minus 350, I mean. Without you trying to fix this first. Now, how did you get 615? You have to try and understand that first. How did you get 615? Okay, unless you have been working on it all the time, it can be pretty difficult. Because I remember there was this type of question that I told someone to do, and then they presented it in a different way and then they got it wrong. Think meters. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Okay, of course it's very easy to just look at it and say, yep, 615. But think 600, okay? 600, then add your 15, you'll be fine. Okay, so let's go. 615 minus 50. Have an understanding. I think that's the main thing. Have an understanding. Where did I get this 615 from? Not just that I pick it from the grass. I understand that 600 is here. If I add 15 to it, it's going to be 615, and then I can take away. Okay, so 615 minus 315. 5 minus 0 is 5. Borrow 1 here. Give that, making 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. Okay, and this is remainder 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, 265. And look at it. 300 plus 200, 500, 550 plus 50 here, 600, 615. So how much or how many centimeter of tape, that's sellotape, does Trevor have left? 265. Now, in this case, you can come up with your own different questions, but the main thing is understand why you are getting 615. 600, okay, 600 centimeters, because you have to convert this to centimeters first. Even if it's in your head, learn to convert it, because you could come across some other questions where if you're not careful, you make a mistake. So convert first in your head and understand the reason why you're doing what you're doing. 600 plus 15 is 615. Okay, take away 350 gives me 265. Hope you've understood that, and you can also create your own questions to see how it goes. Have fun learning maths. Thanks for listening. God bless you.